Hi, I'm Andy Irvine, and you're watching ForBassPlayersOnly.com.
Hi everyone, John Liebman here. You're watching ForBassPlayersOnly.com. Today we are on location in Markneukirchen, Germany at the Warwick and Famous World Headquarters with none other than Andy Irvine. How you doing, Andy?
I'm well, John. Thank you. Good to see you, and good to have you back here with us again.
Oh, it is great to be back. We love being back here with Warwick and all the Warwick family. You and I did a great interview a couple years ago, and we got the whole story of your musical upbringing and how you referred to yourself as a road dog. And the more I learn about you, the more I think that is an appropriate and accurate description of who you are and what you do. And by the way, that interview is on the site. Go to ForBassPlayersOnly.com, search Andy Irvine. It'll come right up. Great story. But let's pick up from there. That was, like I said, a couple of years ago. Yeah. So what have you been doing? What's been keeping you busy?
Well, I've been busy all last year. We toured with the Sound of Bass clinic tour program through Warwick, sponsored by Warwick. And in total, I think the last time I talked to you, we had launched it, and we were just kind of building steam. And from that point till now, I think at that point I had been to 9 countries. And since that time, I've been to a total of 26 countries around the entire world on 6 different continents.
Representing Warwick the whole time.
Representing Warwick and doing a clinic, a workshop that's a combination of me telling the evolution and the story of the Warwick family and the Warwick instruments, and also offering my road dog experiences and some educational sides of playing, and just trying to inspire musicians.
Is it possible to condense that evolution down to a 30-second bite just for these folks here?
I think so. I think in 1982, well, let's go back just a little bit earlier. Hans Peter grew up in a musical.
Hans Peter Wilfer, the founder and owner of Warwick.
Founder and owner, grew up in a musical manufacturing family. His dad, Fred Wilfer, was the founder of the Framus Company in the 50s, and long around the late 70s, Framus went out of business, and Hans Peter was a young adult at that time. He had luthier skills and salesmanship skills, and he wanted to start his own brand. He decided to start a bass company, of all things, and began to evolve the very beginnings of Warwick. He started Warwick. He got some amazing endorsers early on because of his innovative designs with the thumb bass, and Jack Bruce and John Entwistle and some of the most legendary players of all were some of the first endorsers of the brand, which brought more players to the brand. And throughout the 80s and into the early 90s, it started to rise and become popular all over the world. Since that time, the company has grown and grown with players of all different styles and genres who have chosen the instruments over the years. And he's created this factory production facility here in Markneukirchen, Germany.
Oh, you say that so easily. I have to work. I've
had some practice. And it's the most advanced and mind-blowing instrument manufacturing facility in the world. It's completely self-sustaining with green operation, and it blends a combination of the most state-of-the-art computerized carving machines and automated assembly machines with 50% old school handcrafting handwork. And it's all built on the philosophy that the wood is the heart of the instrument. So the biggest emphasis goes in on the selection of the wood and the preparation of the wood prior to production, which basically means it's dried for a long time naturally, like it was done years and years ago.
And I've taken that factory tour, and it is amazing. Well, beyond all that under the hood stuff and the science and the engineering and the expert craftsmanship, what about when somebody gets a Warwick bass in their hands? Tell me why you like Warwick and why it's caught on, and what is so wonderful about the Warwick bass. I know it is, but to somebody who may not have tried it, why don't you?
I think that the easiest way way is you feel like the spirit of the forest is in the thing, meaning they tend to have these open grain woods that are used, the wenji and the ovenkal and the bubinga, and when you feel it, it feels very natural and very open grained, and I think that kind of what defines the sound of wood, the definitive personality of any Warwick instrument is it comes down to that feel, that natural open wood grain feel, and that voice that speaks very clearly.
And the amps are incredible too.
In fact, they are. Yes, they are.
Let's talk a little bit more about you. And you travel all over the world for Warwick, but you do a lot of other stuff too. You've got your own band, and I understand you've got a pretty exciting, ambitious project in the works with compiling some highlights from some of your footage from your band. Tell us about that.
Okay, I started the Andy Irvine group about 6 years ago, and I had been a sideman most of my life, and a touring road dog sideman in the blues, rhythm and blues, soul music, and funk scene. About 6 years ago, I decided to kind of take control and form my own band and be my own management. And I formed a small trio and just started hustling and trying to do gigs. And we eventually were able to get a small booking agent in Europe and come over and tour a couple times in Europe. And I've been multi-tracking and compiling many of the shows. So now I'm going to we're starting to go in and mix the stuff, and I'm going to put out an album that's live, Funky Europe Live album. So we're basically, it's a play on the album title, Digging That Funky Blues, Funky Europe Live, and it's going to be quite long. It's going to have about 16 tracks on it, so essentially almost 2 albums worth of live material. And it's fun. It's really fun because the band has been evolving and getting better. And I like live recordings. I like the energy of live recordings. And with the Power Trio, the audio quality of it is really cool. You can hear everything really well.
And that is expected to hit the streets when?
I think in the early part of the year, in the spring, probably when it's all said and done, the art is done, and I'm holding 1,000 or 2,000 CDs. It'll be March or something like that.
Of 2016.
Yeah.
Okay. You've got some other cool stuff coming up. I know you mentioned so many countries, but seems to me China is coming to mind for some reason.
Yeah, this will be the 3rd year in a row that I've gone back to China with Warwick to tour, and it's an amazing experience every time I've gone there. It's kind of blows my mind a little bit because a lot of kids come out for the workshops and the clinics there. I did one that 500 youngsters came to, and they have a lot of enthusiasm for music and for learning and for just anything rock and roll, you know. So I have a great time there. I'm going to go to 6 or 7 different cities on this tour, like usual, and it's all over the whole country. So it's I get to see a lot of different parts of the country, in the interior of China, not just Shanghai and Beijing and the big cities on the coast. It's going into the interior and out into the provinces and stuff. So it's a really cool cultural experience to be in and among and around those people.
I don't know why this comes to mind, but with all those countries you've been to, you must know a lot about all different kinds of food all over the world.
Yeah. As you can tell by my robust stature, I do enjoy the food everywhere I go. And it's interesting. That seems to be a part of the process, because I always I'm hosted by people, and we do the work that we have to do that day, and then they always take me out to dinner after the work is done for the day. So, and that's when they're saying, welcome to our country, welcome to our town, because in different towns, in different regions, they're famous for different types of cuisine, meaning, little slightly derivations of different things. So they of course have to take me out and say, this is what we're famous, this is the food that we're famous for here. So yeah, I've sampled it all, and I like most of it. There's a few things in China that I don't particularly, don't really rock my world, but most places, like in South America and Argentina, with all the steak, I love my meat. So yeah, I had a great time down there.
All right, that's a lot in the short term, next year or so. What else do you have coming up long term, or what do you look forward to in the future? Well,
ultimately, my goal is always to create. I'm a creative person, and I've always just tried to find ways to be involved in some sort of collaborations that are creative. And in recent times, I've launched my website, and I continue to put out music and collaborate with different people. And I also enjoy cultivating the business side of what I do by self-managing and building up my website and building up my web store and in my apparel line. And I've written a book that's been pretty well received. And
The title is?
Passion and Action: A Musician's Journey. And it's been pretty well received, and I've had some interest from some other people in the publishing realm that have asked me to perhaps add some more content, add a few more chapters, and do a kind of a re-release that's with a little bit more content. So nothing is written in stone, but there's some people that are interested in seeing it be a little bit bigger and seeing the book evolve, and then maybe re-releasing it. So I'll be working on that for sure and going in that direction. I know that you have many published things as well, so you know the process. It's something different than just playing gigs, you know. But it's certainly challenging, you know. So I just love challenges, and I love to have control of my career and the different things that I do. And I'll certainly be always be working here with Warwick as part of this family, because that's creates another balance. It provides balance to my whole. My whole musical picture, my whole musical landscape, you know.
Andy, I admire your energy and your enthusiasm and your ambition. Always fascinating talking with you. You've always got so many cool things going on, and always great getting together. So wonderful catching up with you.
My pleasure.
And like I said, I think we've got plenty to talk about if we want to get together again in the not too distant future. And no doubt you'll have plenty of stuff to bring us up to date on.
It would always be my pleasure, and I really appreciate it. I want to tell you to just enjoy the rest of Base Camp. I know that you're going to be doing a lot of interviews this week, and I hope you're going to have a fun time, because there's a lot of cool cats that are here and a lot of cool cats that are coming.
Well, we had a great time last year, and every indication this year is going to be at least as good or maybe even better.
Right on, buddy.
All right. Well, thanks very much. On location at the Warwick and Famous World Headquarters in Markneukirchen, Germany, with Andy Irvine, I'm John Liebman. You're watching for BassPlayersOnly.com.